Hello, Mr. Devil. Welcome to your interview.
Hello, Miss Todd. Before we shall continue with this interview, you shall address me as your Majesty.
Mr. Devil, pardon my crass wording, but you are seen as the master of death, the owner of evil, and the worst of the worst within many branches of humanity. What permits you to make such a demand?
My dear child, I own 99% of the human race, and counting. Does that not make me royalty? If we are to continue this interview, you will address me as your Majesty.
Very well, your Majesty. Now please enlighten me. How do you own 99% of the human race currently?
My innocent child, you should start with more easily digestible questions. If you were to learn my methods, you may find humanity even worse than you already do.
Very funny, your Majesty. I am not that innocent, nor am I a child. Now, in response to my question, how do you control 99% of the human race?
Very well, Miss Earthbound. I am the negative side of all energy. As you can see, I do not have a forked tongue, large hooked nose, and a horned head. I am not the monster hiding under your bed. I am not the master of fear that many people boldly are admiring at this time.
If I am understanding you, you are claiming that you are the dark side of all humanity. Am I understanding you correctly, your Majesty?
Yes, my dear, I am the owner of all the darkness in the world. And this is with an immense power and set of tricks that many people fall trapped into. In fact, you almost did, my dear.
Where do you prefer to live, your Majesty? What is your preferred space to occupy, generally?
Of course. I do not need to exist anywhere. I do not even need this human form I am currently occupying. I simply chose this form for you, for the betterment of this interview.
Quite into flattering yourself, your Majesty. Correct me if I'm wrong. However, are you saying you're neither a figment of imagination, nor a visible, feasible human or demon?
I should warn you, my dear, should you share this interview with others, you will be persecuted. You will be shunned. No one will believe in you. It could be extremely dangerous. I would not be keeping my end of the bargain if I do not state this.
I am not afraid of the harm you speak. I am not in any form of bargain with you, your Majesty. Be mindful of your choices of words, as you wouldn't want your followers to misinterpret the messages you have given them.
Are you implying that you wish to vindicate me of my evils?
No, not at all, your Majesty. It would only serve the narrative that is growing in popularity that you may not even exist at all, your Majesty.
You have done your research, Ms. Todd. For that, you have my respect. Now, what was your question?
My question has remained the same, your Majesty. How do you control 99% of humanity that you claim to control?
Dare I admit this to you, you will be opening a door to a new form of help to my opposition. An opposition you yourself do not particularly like, do you, Miss Todd?
Your Majesty, my personal beliefs are not important in this interview. Please stay on topic if you hope to regain your fearful presence online.
Is that a threat, my dear?
Not at all, your Majesty. I am simply reminding you of how little gaslighting will take you in this process.
You are not as naive as you appear, Miss Earthbound. Very well. You have heard of the terms of mob mentality and the dangers of being in echo chambers?
I will be asking the questions here, your Majesty. Yes, I have heard of both. Continue.
Well, I'll have you know that the true definition of mob mentality online has been bastardized. In fact, it has been so watered down into such a fruitless term that it barely affects those I control, if ever at all. For the internet is not to blame for mob mentality, though it is a great tool in my cause.
Go on, your Majesty.
Very well. This not-so-new mob mentality has helped me capture so many foolish, sometimes uneducated, and at other times the most educated of souls to believe they are free thinkers.
What is the definition of a free thinker by your standards, your Majesty?
Ha! Miss Earthbound, you are quite well researched. A free thinker is not fueled by the ideas of likes, hearts, clicks, money, or any earthly or virtual possession. A free thinker is someone who is focused on their own goals, whether or not there's a monetary gain to be had from them. A free thinker is willing to sacrifice what must be sacrificed in order to achieve their goals. And this type of person is one my opposition absolutely adores, due to the fact that they are definite in their decisions and highly focused on their purpose in life. It is quite frustrating, admittedly.
And why is it so frustrating for you to see freethinkers? Can you not simply infiltrate their minds and overcome them with whatever tricks you have yet to openly admit to me?
You are a freethinker, Miss Earthbound. You remind me very much of another soul I once granted an interview in my presence.
This flattery seems to be a weapon of yours, Your Majesty. Is this correct?
Miss Earthbound, it is a fact. It is not correct, but it is a fact. Flattery amongst those users online who do not have minds to think for themselves is one of the quickest ways for me to infiltrate their minds and overcome them with temptations that many are not yet equipped to handle.
I see, Your Majesty. And how do you define someone who is equipped to handle these temptations?
Have I not already specified this for you, Miss Earthbound?
Please clarify, Your Majesty.
If you insist, Miss Earthbound. Someone who is well equipped to handle my temptations is likely someone who has either dealt with them before and overcome them, someone who is a free thinker, and someone who is courageous. Sometimes all three of these factors apply into something many of you humans call tenacious.
Interesting, Your Majesty. Why does tenacity bother you so deeply? Is it something that makes the father of fear frightened?
Such eloquence. Yes, Miss Earthbound, tenacity is one of the most irritating things I have ever seen in the human race, though I've been steadily breaking it down bit by bit with the division of people politically and socially. This was prophesied previously, with the other Earthbound who interviewed me.
Yes, Your Majesty, I am very well aware of who you are referring to. How are you destabilizing tenacity in the human race?
That is so simple, Miss Earthbound. This is by using the echo chambers as both uniters and dividers. Once enough people agree with someone that has a skewed view, one that I have heavily influenced with hatred, jealousy, envy, coveting, or boredom, then all it takes is the echo chamber to repeat their thoughts back to them. The more flattery and agreement work cohesively for those who do not realize I'm controlling their little minds, the more they are becoming my own little weapon.
How can someone, such as a freethinker like myself, use this tenacity to overcome these echo chambers?
Miss Earthbound, you have strong deductive reasoning skills.
Do not stray from the topic with needless compliments, Your Majesty. Please continue.
As you wish, but to admit this tool, my opposition will be thrilled by you and proud of your bravery. This being may even bless you.
How can someone, such as a freethinker like myself, use this tenacity to overcome these echo chambers?
Very well. The greatest way for a free thinker to avoid being roped into the ideologies and oftentimes narcissistic, not-so-selfless compliments of the echo chambers is to be firm in your own belief system, and remain tenacious and steadfast in one's own life goals. If someone is powerful enough to use their own tenacity to overcome the echo chambers online, and willing enough to have people who disagree with them on very important matters, then that person is useless to me.
Why is such a person useless to you, Your Majesty?
Because ultimately, nothing I can offer this type of person will ever satisfy their own inner being's guidance and tenacity to prove themselves to themselves for themselves. The legacy this type of person leaves is not always conceivable by the human's mind. I'm sure you understand what I'm getting at, Miss Earthbound.
Indeed, Your Majesty. The legacy of a stubborn, tenacious, and overall freethinker who is unimpressed by the powers and often pitfalls of a well-constructed echo chamber must thoroughly annoy you, mustn't it, Your Majesty?
Yes, you're correct, Miss Earthbound. This person makes my non-existent skin shiver with annoyance, especially when they possess qualities that are valued by modern and even olden societal standards.
If I am picking up what you're implying, then you are saying someone, such as a young, eloquent, confident woman, who is not impressed or in need of external validation, is someone you dislike?
There are two answers to this question, Miss Todd. Yes and no.
How so, Your Majesty?
You are not the easy type, Miss Earthbound.
Why and how are intelligent, educated, and free-thinking women a threat and a useful tool for you?
Now, Miss Earthbound. I never said these women are free thinkers. They may believe they are free in their own minds' landscapes, but the ones who are truly free require no need of the power I have of fear. The way the educated women are helpful to me is by using their education and skills within their concentrated fields to not only monetize and gain profit off of, but incentivize those watching and listening to help them in my cause. For you see, the truly free thinker, particularly a woman, does not require the rest of the world's understanding, respect, misunderstanding, disrespect, or any other form of external response. If this woman enjoys the feelings of dopamine from the reinforcements they receive due to their education and skills, they are my perfect weapon to divide people further. Are you dying to know how the same woman could be a threat to me, Miss Todd?
Let us not overuse such overly saturated phrases, Your Majesty. Continue.
If you are brave enough to shoulder the consequences, Miss Earthbound.
I'll take responsibility for my choices. Now, Your Majesty, please continue.
The woman that is a threat to me is the free thinker who requires no long-term external responses. She may enjoy them, but she does not desperately need the approval or disapproval of her own beliefs and or, obviously, her own goals that she tenaciously pursues in her own life. She may want external validation, but she does not feel empty if she receives no responses at all. Even if she does, it is a temporary temptation I try on her, but this type of woman is again tenacious. Stubborn, as you put it, Miss Earthbound.
Is that why you use the internet to further divide people? But correct me if I'm wrong, Your Majesty. I would greatly appreciate it if you explained the 99% of humanity you use to control. How do you control them? And how few people are managing to break free from your echo chambers and other temptations if you control so much of the human race?
Why, of course. Miss Earthbound, there would be no fun in a war if not without division. Though there are people catching on more and more to my traps, whether they acknowledge my existence as a genuine threat to their existence on a physical and existentialist level or not. More and more of this human race are going offline, and some are even fighting for causes that are positive. I do control 99% of the human race and counting. However, the counting is often by people who do not fully understand my power and are too young to easily fight back. I enjoy the challenge. The counting sometimes counts down, and you are part of the extremely small percentage of humanity who has managed to avoid my snares. For now.
How exactly did I avoid your ingenious snares, then? Enlighten me, Your Majesty. Do I sense you are ready to tone things down, or turn things up?
I shall turn things all the way up, Miss Todd. You see, you only managed to escape me this time because you have always had a stubborn nature about you. Though you do not always please my opposition, you are also too free-spirited and open-minded to be controlled by one deity, even one as powerful as I am.
Does it hurt your ego to know your count of the human race may decrease by the power of this interview being shown?
Not at all, Miss Earthbound, because there are plenty of people under my control who I can easily weaponize against you.
If you are planning some sort of attack, online or physical, on my life, please be considerate of the power of tracking devices, such as that little Apple Watch you conveniently wore tonight.
What about the fundamentalist and other extremist branches of my opposition? Do they not frighten you?
I will be asking the questions here, Your Majesty. However, I grew up in the territory of the groups of people who you are referring to. I am not afraid of them. The legacy of the story will live on long after my lifespan has come to an end on this human, earthly plane.
A wise one you are, Miss Earthbound. It seems you have mastered all your fears, except one.
My romantic life is none of your concerns, Your Majesty. After all, isn't romance a way you use capitalism to your advantage, Your Majesty?
Capitalism and the dystopian socialism are both brilliant weapons of mine to further divide the human race. For you see, the true 1%ers of this human race are not the ultra-wealthy nor the deeply impoverished anymore. It consists of people such as yourself, people who are inherently tenacious and who do not shy away from my presence. You are fearless, even when discussing such thought-provoking topics. Both of these weapons are brilliant in helping me with classism. Now, many might assume it is only the racist people of the world who engage in such vile, deliciously prejudiced behaviors, but that's where I come in. See, I can use the impoverished and the wealthy and the privileged both to destroy each other. Without them truly questioning why they want to have more or less power, their minds are easily manipulated and distracted. This is one of my greatest tricks of the 21st century, as it is.
Impressive, Your Majesty. Before we close this interview, do you wish to say anything to the viewers of this video? Please refrain from using clickbaiting, rage-baiting, insults, and/or needless flattery.
You are indeed a truly free thinker. You are the definition of my opposition's favorite type of person. A free spirit, fearless in even their most vulnerable times. You do not fall for the pretty white lies of the echo chambers or the mass hysteria of the online video platforms. You have a heart, a moral compass, and other brilliant qualities that many do openly admire about you. So, for your audience, you have only permitted me to be within the bounds of your specific preferences.
This is also per the guidelines of this platform of which I am sharing this video. Please be aware of the consequences of disregarding these guidelines. Your Majesty.
I see. You do not deny my existence either. Well, I will say this to your audience. Be aware, viewers of Miss Earthbound's channel. She is not a false prophet, nor an uneducated musician, both of which I can weaponize quite easily. She could be your messiah, but it is up to you to heed this advice. She is not a perfect being, such as myself or my opposition, so if you shall choose to remain for ingenious, earthbound creators' content, the repercussions will be in your hands only. What is it, Miss Todd?
Oh, nothing, Your Majesty. Thank you for your time. Nice try, Mr. Devil. I'm not interested.
Why not?
You're not my type. Let's go. Let's go. What is this? What? Huh?
Thank you for interviewing my brother, Miss Todd. I will bless you with the desires of your heart.
I'm sorry, what?
Sukai Todd singing this hit.